Hello there! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a question that a lot of people ask. What's the difference between grief and mourning? You've probably heard both words, but they're not the same thing. So, let's break it down. Grief versus mourning. Alright, so let's start with grief. Grief is the internal experience, everything that's going on inside you after a loss. It's that emotional roller coaster where one minute you're feeling okay, and the next you're hit with sadness, anger, guilt, or even fear. Grief is personal. It's unique to you, and no one can see it from the outside. Think of it like this storm happening inside you. Now let's talk about mourning. Mourning is how you express that storm. It's the external stuff, what people actually see. It's how you show your grief to the world, whether that's through crying, attending a funeral, wearing black, or even just talking to friends and family about the person you lost. Mourning is how you process and cope with the grief publicly. But here's the kicker though, they both go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Grief is necessary for healing, but so is mourning. You need that outward expression to release some of what you're feeling inside. It's like you're carrying this heavy emotional backpack, and mourning helps you take some of that weight off. And let's be real clear here. There's no right way to mourn. Some people cry, some people laugh, some people just stay quiet for a while, and that's totally okay. The point is, your grief is personal, and so is your mourning. However you need to process that storm, it's necessary. And don't let anyone rush you through it either. Whether you're grieving privately or mourning publicly, it's your journey, it's your path to healing. People love to say things like, "Don't you think it's time to move on?" But there's no timeline for this. Grief doesn't have an expiration date, and mourning definitely does not come with instructions. So to wrap this up, grief is the emotional experience inside, and mourning is how you show and express that experience to the world. They're both important, and you need both to heal. Whether you're sitting in silence or sharing your pain, it's all part of the process. I hope this cleared up the difference between grief and mourning. If you've got more questions about grief, loss, or anything related, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you don't miss out on the next one. Remember, grief is hard, but you don't have to go through it alone. We're all in this together.